Give us some of your political beliefs.
Kill everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat shit.
Did you happen to hear about it?
From some friends who saw it and thought it was absolutely marvelous.
Sorry, I'll be very insulted.
Rex Reed told us that it's fabulous.
You come out at midnight to see it.
Why go home at midnight? What are you going to see there?
Oh, it's marvelous. Absolutely.
Disgusting thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Not to be believed.
Absolutely.
It was divine. Fabulous.
I have an aversion to snakes.
It was divine. I love religious movies.
It's a little gross, but I liked it.
Well, it was really the grossest film I've seen.
I think John Waters has got his finger on the pulse of America. I think he's got his thumb securely up America's ass.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. This is Josh here, checking in on you out there in YouTube land. YouTube, we've got a doozy on deck, a real doozy coming at you, man. I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday tonight. I've watched a ton of movies while everyone's out there, you know, kind of spending their hard-earned money trying to get gifts for loved ones. I'm just chilling out here, freezing to death in my garage with the John Waters classic, An Exercise in Poor Taste, 1972's Pink Flamingos. Now, I'm just gonna let it rip with this review. I don't know what's gonna pass censorship, what's gonna get through, what's not. I'm not trying to, you know, piss off the proverbial YouTube gods, but this is a movie in poor taste. It is a very, very, very bad movie. So I'm just going to say what it says on Wikipedia for some of this. I got a basic review going. I hope however you found me, don't judge me on what... All right. We're going to talk Pink Flamingos. Thanks for being here. Check it out. Just a friendly warning. If you catch me with a real shit-eating grill... I'm trying my best, okay? I'm trying my best to... Sorry. If you look up cult classic in the dictionary, you're going to find a description of John Waters' 1972 film Pink Flamingos. It's a true cult classic with the rabid following in every sense of the word. Kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show, where it became a midnight feature film, you know, just a fanatical following. Good or bad, you're not going to find someone who thinks this is just, it was okay. Roger Ebert was quoted as saying, Pink Flamingos was filmed with genuine geeks and freaks, and that is the appeal of the film. To those who find it appealing, what seems to happen in the movie really does happen. That is the redeeming quality. If the events in this film were only simulated, it would just be merely depraved and disgusting. The story of Pink Flamingos opens with the little rockabilly soundtrack and the longest intro of all time as we're introduced to the family of Kelly Devine, who owns the title of Filthiest Person Alive, a title that forces her to go into hiding in a hot pink mobile home and taking on the moniker of Babs. Her mama has a real hankering for eggs and seems to spend her time hollering for the Eggman and shaking her crib. All dressed and ready for success, we fast forward to Babs as she hops into her Cadillac Coupe de Ville and speeds her way to town for some action. Heavy lies the crown of the filthiest person alive, and she has some competition from Connie and Raymond Marbles, who run some sort of underground black market baby sex ring. A very simple process, you see, where they keep the two girls pregnant at all times by their servant Channing, and then sell the kids to same-sex couples, invest in the underground porno shops around the city. You know, shit compared to how they live their life, and shit compared to the true filthiest people alive. say that a few times fast. Trying to explain the plot of this film, I can't even speak, would likely get me banned on YouTube, so I'm just going to do my best to explain some of the shocking and graphic content that continue to keep this film a hard NC-17 rating and banned in many countries. With Flamingos, you get all the grotesque subject matter battling pastel tones and a bubblegum pop aesthetic. The film is a hodgepodge of perversity, bad taste, gender, families, both groundbreaking and grotesque. It challenges the public moral agenda and censorship, and it breaks every motherfucking rule along the way. Known for being an exercise in bad or poor taste, Pink Flamingos is notorious and outrageous for its nudity, profanity, scatology, great pursuit of perversity, including revolting scenes of exhibitionism, voyeurism, sodomy, gluttony, self-stimulation, vomiting, sexual assault, incest, murder, animal cruelty, cannibalism, zoophilia, castration, foot fetishism, and or worse. For some reason, I thought if I just spoke all those horrible things you see on screen like really, really fast, maybe the algorithm or people they just wouldn't be paying attention. And then I realized, oh shit, fuck. I also have like 5 or 6 pages of notes that I got to get through here, and none of it is appropriate. All of it's appropriate for John Waters' classic from 1972, Pink Flamingos. In the first 20 minutes, we got a fella who fashions salted meats to his member, goes around exposing himself in order to snatch purses from females throughout the city. Another scene shows a woman lying next to there's a chicken love scene that goes on forever. An expired mother gets the worst of Randy before being vomited on. Then we've got some other artificial insemination. Plenty of awkward foot fetishism, and then the package. What this film is most known for. Shit. Literal shit. One box of shit captured on 16mm film. A turd sent express mail. A box of deep, dark trouble. Happy birthday, Fatso, it says, love the new filthiest people alive. Some other scenes that seem to revolt folks are the ritualized butchering at the trailer of a police officer, where everyone, for some reason, has some sort of cannibalistic feeding frenzy before Mama and the Eggman tie the knot. Spoiler, there's also a scene that has the Divine Clan finish. Oh man, God, I can't even talk about some of this stuff. They literally go through the Marbles home and they lick everything in the house. Woof. Some fun facts about the film, though, that are relatively clean is that John Waters himself did all the narration. But then you start to think about things like Surfing Bird. I'll never think of the song Surfing Bird and hear it the same way. It is like pantomime. It's just a lot. This fucking movie is a lot. We got to talk about the chicken and the animal cruelty. I'm sorry, we got to get into it. I'm not editing any of this out. We'll see what happens. There is a chicken sex scene in here that is so out of control. Luckily for me, I watched all the special features when I got this thing just the other day. I hadn't seen this movie since I was a teenager. I mean, I remember being fucked up, but thanks, Criterion. I mean, it's a cult classic. Movie, right? So there John Waters goes and he buys live chicken for harvesting that day so he can feed the crew. And in the film there is a perverted brother and his, I don't know if it's his mistress or like the person that he's, I don't know. However it comes to pass, this woman voyeuristically is spying on him with another female in the chicken coop, and they're getting it on, and they have a chicken between them. And the poor chicken is just getting all frisky as well. It's scratching, it's clawing, it's pecking, it's fucking... It's a fucking lot, okay? They murder this goddamn chicken. Right? Fucking intense, man. It's just a pecking mess. It's absolutely fucking brutal. It's Bob. Yeah. All right. Look. There's a couple of scenes in this movie that it's gonna be like someone pissed in your Cheerios for sure. If you're not expecting it, it's a shocking film. It's got a reputation. It's iconic. It's 50 years old and it's still disgustful. I mean, I was watching it earlier, just in the daytime, just like it was like 4 p.m. and my wife was taking a nap, and the whole time she's taking a nap, I'm like, I'm gonna have to fast forward if she wakes up. What scene can I skip to if she wakes? This is a horrible film. Every scene is just perverse and disgusting, full of graphic nudity, full of just uncomfortable nudity where you're just like, why am I watching this right now? Why is that in there? And I guess in some like backwoods hick way, it's kind of brilliant at the same time, because it pushed a lot of buttons. It broke a lot of moral values. I mean, it just blew the fucking doors off of everything. Anything you can think that's fucked up, little Johnny Waters, he put it in there. There is a lot to this film. Just a powder keg of disgusting subject matter. And we got to talk about that final scene with the Doggy in the Window song playing in the back. I gotta cut. And I apologize if I'm not doing a great job at explaining the plot of Pink Flamingos. There's not really a plot. Not really. Like, there's Kelly Devine, or Babs Johnson, I think, who is the filthiest person alive. And there's this couple, the Marbles, and they want to be the new king and queen, filthiest people alive. And so they hire a spy to go and follow them, and they start sleeping with people. And the whole thing is just one big jerk sesh. It's disgusting. It's perverted the whole time. And maybe that's the plot. Maybe that's the silver lining. And I just feel like I can't really talk about it because none of this is PC. You get canceled if you mention some of the things that are in this film. And, you know, it's on Criterion. This is the Criterion Collection. They're all about, you know, restoring and keeping good films. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. I'm glad that I own it, but, you know, buyer beware, viewer beware. This is really going to upset quite a few people. And it's still super effective 50 years later. So let's talk about the scene that's going to offend most people. The most vomit-inducing scene has to do with Babs and her clan. They're packing up and they're going to Boise. I can only imagine they're going to Idaho, which is a few hours from here. And on the way there, this song starts playing. There's a doggy in the window, and they're just walking up the sidewalk, and all of a sudden they start kind of licking their lips. Just, ooh, look at that. Just kind of, they get that, just this like maniacal kind of like grin to the three of them. And Kelly Devine, Babs, walks up to this dog, squats down next to it. Before the dog can even finish doing its business, she puts her paw down there and she scoops up from the sidewalk this doggy's business. Just grabs a whole handful of dog shit, pulls it up, it's steaming, and she eats it. You can see her kind of gag a little bit, and then it zooms in on her teeth, then it zooms back out. The poor dog is probably like, what? Why did you do that? The whole thing it's bad. It's really, really bad. And I know it's in there, and I forget that. It's not like you forget that it's there, but maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not the target audience for dog shit eating people. So yeah, it's really gross. And then learning, you know, the backstory that they only fed the dog steak for 3 days so that this person could eat it. Why the fuck is it in there? I'm watching a movie where there's a female Kelly Devine allegedly eating real dog shit, and that's the draw of this movie. That's what everybody remembers. If you Google like most disturbing, most shocking films of all time, you're gonna get Pink Flamingos on that list, if not for all of the graphic nudity and all the sexual trauma and assault that happens, for the dog poop scene in all of its glory. And you guys can have it. I don't want it. I'm good on that shit, dude. I don't understand, but let's talk about the movie. A lot of people really like this movie, and they wanted me to review it, and so here we are. This is a great release from Criterion. This is shot on 16, and I know that it was on like a, you know, just a shoestring budget for Johnny Waters there. So all the people in the film were his friends, right? And so everything that you see is just him and his friends, and that kind of makes it more disturbing in some weird way. Because I was reading, I don't know, once you start like Googling these things and then you go down the rabbit hole, you kind of feel bad for some of his friends that are, what if they're not into some of this stuff and they're just doing it anyway? Can I show this? Can I show this stuff? Anyway, this is just kind of like, it's, you know, kind of like a little play sheet. Pretty cool that Criterion takes so much like love and care with their releases, but the stuff that is in this film is absolutely vile, dude. Now, it's not like it's gory or, you know, because there's some horrific elements, you know, allegedly horrific, but it's more, I think, the subject matter and all those things that I listed. You know, there's the family dynamics, the whole thing. It just feels a little like West Virginia. No offense to you folks out there if you're in the game. A little bit of that Kentucky Kool-Aid, that Mountain Dew, those folks down there. I'll tell you, Pink Flamingos, I like this movie, though. After all of that, I'm a punk rocker at heart, and besides being a little bit disgusted today at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, it's not like it's Easter or something, right? You can watch this. It's not gonna kill you. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it might not be a first date movie unless your wife or your partner, whoever they are, is down, and you should marry that person. Pink Flamingos, I'm gonna give it, you know, if you're going out of 10, the way that it's filmed, the way that it looks from Criterion, it's like a 6, right? as far as the reputation and the soundtrack, that's a 10. That's a 10 all fucking day. Every day that ends in Y, Pink Flamingos brings the fucking bad taste. It brings all of that PC shit you've ever heard about it. That in a bag of chips. It is horrific, dude. So after all of that, if you would like to see more from me, please like, comment, subscribe, talk some shit down there, follow me on social media, and then let me know, when was the last time, what was your first viewing of Pink Flamingos like? What do you remember about this film? Does it live up to its reputation? It's got a huge, crazy cult following. It's been highly requested by a ton of people. And so, yeah, I mean, here it is, right? I hope that this doesn't get kicked back. I hope that you're able to watch this, and then you can watch my review, and maybe you won't have to watch the movie. People are curious about, was there something with the chicken? Wasn't there some shit in that movie? Yeah, a lot. What, dude? Take care of yourselves. We got Bone Tomahawk coming. Bone Tomahawk's probably coming tomorrow. I was working on it a little bit today, but I wrote like a book on that film because I love it so much. And it's a long film. Take care. Cheers.
Filter my politics.